Listen, you don't actually lack confidence. You lack proof. And every day you hesitate, every time you overthink, you're collecting evidence that you're not that guy. That's why you feel stuck. Not because you're weak, but because you haven't proven yourself yet. But here's the part no one tells you. Self-belief isn't something you find, it's something you build. Quietly, through actions no one sees. So, if you've been waiting to feel ready, this is why you don't believe in yourself. And tonight, we fix that. You become what you repeatedly believe. If you believe that you're not that guy, if you believe that you're not gonna get in shape, if you believe all of these negative things about yourself, guess what? You're going to become what you believe. That's how it works. It's basically repetition. If you're repeatedly telling yourself, oh, I'm never gonna make it, oh, I'm not that guy, I can't build this skill, whatever it may be, then don't be surprised when it doesn't work out, when you try to go for this thing but it doesn't work because you're not believing in yourself. But on the flip side, if you believe you can build up that skill, if you believe you can lift that weight, you can go talk to that girl, then guess what? You're going to do it. It all starts with your belief. If you believe you can do it and you wholeheartedly believe it, and I'm talking like you really feel it in your body that you believe you can do whatever it is you're trying to do, then the next step is the action. If I believe I can learn sales, now I act upon it and then I become it, right? It's that simple. And doubt will fade when your action becomes consistent. When you doubt yourself, it just means you don't have any evidence backing you up. If you believe in yourself, yet you doubt just a tiny little bit, that doubt can blossom into something more, and that's not what you want. However, in order to combat that doubt is the action, right? We don't want to get stuck too much in our own heads here. Yes, you might believe you can do something, but if you don't take action towards it, what did I say earlier? What you repeat is what you become. So if you are repeatedly believing in yourself, yet not taking action, don't be surprised when that doubt kind of seeps in, right? But if you believe in yourself and you take action and you do this consistently, then you will start becoming that person that has really strong self-belief. And one of the ways to build up this self-belief is to keep the promises you make to yourself. This can be as small as saying that you're gonna go for a walk, or it can be something as big as, alright, I'm going to save up my money to buy this thing, right? It varies. But no matter how big or how small this promise is, you've got to keep your word. Whether it's to yourself, to other people, you've got to keep your word. Because again, you do this time after time after time, then you will become that person, right? If you make a promise to someone and you keep your word and you do that 10 times, guess what? People will look at you and be like, alright, I trust this guy, he keeps his word. Whereas on the flip side, if you don't do that, people are going to call you untrustworthy. Same thing when you make promises to yourself. If you tell yourself you're going to do this thing, but then you don't do it, it might not seem like a big deal in the moment. But trust me, on a long enough timeline, if you keep repeating that action of not keeping your promise to yourself, whenever you make a promise, you'll just blow it off and be like, I'm not that serious about it anyway. And that's the deadly thing, is if you can't keep a promise to yourself, how can you keep it to other people, right? How can you trust your own word when you can't even live up to it? Now, the confidence grows through your quiet daily discipline. The confidence to believe in yourself, the confidence to go after what you believe in, grows through your daily habits. I've said it multiple times throughout videos on this channel, but you've got to have a good daily routine, daily habits. If you believe you are a good reader, but you don't read a book or a page of a book every day, then it's almost like you're tricking yourself. Now, with that being said, I do want to touch on self-delusion, because I know some people kind of intertwine self-belief with self-delusion. You need to be so heavily on one side to become self-deluded, right? And don't get me wrong, I do agree with that. I agree that you kind of need to believe in yourself to the point where it is delusion. But again, as long as you're taking action, if you're sitting there listening to this and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna make it to the league, right? To the NBA, MLB, whatever. But you're not taking action, eventually it'll catch up to you, and eventually that self-delusion will just be that. It'll just be delusion. You know those people that were really good at a sport, but they never made it big, and they always talk about, oh, I could have made it. Those people never put in the work. In a sense, it's kind of like that, except what separates the two people, assuming that they both have self-delusional self-belief, is the fact that one of them put in the work and the other didn't. They might have thought they did, but they didn't. So it catches up to you. So yes, you can have all these self-belief, self-confidence in the world, but you need to put in the work behind it. You also need to stop waiting for permission to begin. Just start it. What have you got to lose? There's no point in sitting here being like, alright, I've been thinking about this for a long time, but I want to wait an extra month or two, because whatever your reason might be. What is the point? Start now. Sign up for that martial arts class. Go talk to that lady. Go hit the gym. Just do it. Because the time that you sit there waiting for permission from someone is time you could be putting in work. And we all know time is very scarce, so just go out and do it. Your mind believes what you reinforce. Whatever you tell yourself daily is what your mind will believe. This kind of touches on mental self-talk, right? I guess mental health a little bit, but it's mainly just your self-talk. Do you talk to yourself in a positive light or in a negative way, right? Do you talk to yourself throughout the day and say, alright, let's go, I've got this, I'm the best, right? Again, it's self-talk. You can talk to yourself however you please. Very, very good, very, very bad. A mix of both. You can say the most outrageous stuff in your mind. No one's gonna know. So, how do you talk to yourself? In a very good way or a very bad way? Or do you fluctuate? One thing you've got to do is start talking to yourself in a positive way. Believe you're the best. Start saying to yourself, I am the best at this. I am the greatest at that, right? Because again, your mind believes what you reinforce. And if you reinforce this day after day after day, eventually it'll become commonplace. You'll wake up, your mind will immediately be like, alright, let's go and conquer the day. Boom, no need to think about it. You're in go mode, right? Compared to the other person that has a negative self-talk. They they wake up and they're like, oh man, I'm really scared to tackle today, you've already kind of stepped on the wrong foot early on, right? Now, fear will weaken when you face it calmly. We all have fears, we all have doubts, we all get a little bit anxious. But when you look at it directly, when you look at the problem, when you look at the source of your fear head on, and you face it in a calm manner, it will become weakened. Because again, you'll start proving to yourself, I am not what my fear is. If I'm scared to talk to people, but I decide to talk to them anyway, that fear will weaken and I'll get confident. And you almost get this sense of, I don't want to say ecstasy, but it's some sort of feeling where it's like you feel like you're just on a high. Whenever you do something that you don't want to do, but you do it and you get a good outcome, or if you just do it in general, you sort of just get this feeling like you're on a high. You kind of tackle the day differently, you look at the day in a different way compared to if you were to not do this thing, right? And it's something I've experienced myself. Whenever I'm like, oh, I don't want to go and leave the house to go do this thing, but then I go do it. Yeah, it's not that big of a deal, but it's just something in my mind just kind of gives me this high, and I'm like, alright, I can do anything, right? That's kind of how it feels. Now, your progress will build up your belief, not empty motivation. When you make progress in whatever you're trying to develop, you will build up that belief, and then again, you'll build up your belief, you start believing more, and it kind of just goes like that. Empty motivation will not build that up. When you're listening to self-improvement stuff, when you're listening to edits and whatever about other people, that's not building your belief, because you're not proving to yourself that you have done it, that you are that person. You might believe it because it's motivating, but then when that motivation wears off, where are you going to be? Not making progress. Now this next point is very similar to one of the earlier ones, but you've got to speak to yourself with respect. Again, it's like having positive self-talk. If you speak to yourself with respect up in your brain, it will kind of flow out, and you'll treat everyone else with respect as well. Because again, if it doesn't start here, it won't project outwards into the universe, right? So when you speak to yourself with respect, not only will you treat yourself with respect, but you'll treat others with respect. Now the final thing I'll leave you guys with is small wins will reshape how you see yourself. Stack up the little wins before you get the big ones. If you just go for a big win, 9 times out of 10 you're probably going to fall short, and it seems like that big win is so far away and so out of your reach. But if you stack up small wins, you will kind of view yourself differently. You'll view yourself as a winner. When you stack up these small wins, it kind of gets you into the habit of winning, so then you can win a big one, right? And again, on a long enough timeline, when you build up all these small wins, you look back and you go, wow, I've won a lot, I am a winner. Now, with all that being said, guys, if you want more content like this, early access to videos and deeper talks, Patreon link is down below. Go make sure to check that out, and also make sure to subscribe for more content like this. But thank you all so much for listening to this one. Hopefully you all did learn something from this video, and as always, catch you all next one.